everyone, my name is Jasmine Sky and I'm here today on Wednesday the 17th and it's St. Patrick's Day, so that's exciting. That's why I am wearing green, including a green hair tie because I just, don't want to be pinched today. And I just finished with work. It's like 5 and I have to run off real quick because I'm doing a socially distanced St. Patty's Day barbecue outside, so I gotta head off to that, but I wanted to at least check in real quick before that to let you know that I am starting another vlog. So as you saw with my previous vlog, I am going to be writing a YA historical fantasy murder mystery, my Alchemy YA. The plan is to start drafting tonight. So I'm gonna go to this barbecue, let the dogs run around with each other. It's all of my dog friend people that is having this barbecue by the dog park. So all the dogs are gonna run around and we're gonna eat. And then I'm gonna come back tonight and the lighting won't be as good, which is why I wanted to film this clip here just to start us off. But I'll explain a little bit more detail and we'll get drafting tonight.
Go get it. She's tired.
You ready? Okay, drop it. Here we go. Ready?
It's funny because whenever we're out here like 15, 20 minutes, they're like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Hi, Kerr. You ready? Where'd it go? Ready?
As promised, it's much later. But I'm here now, back from my dog park barbecue, and I need to write at least a little bit tonight. I am quite tired. It is only half a week after spring forward daylight savings time, and gosh, my whole rhythm was just messed up. I wish we didn't do daylight savings time. Anyway, so explanations. You should probably watch my previous vlog on this project, which I will put in the description below, which was my outline and first chapter vlog, basically the proposal that I sent to my agent of my magical historical fantasy alchemy murder mystery book, which I am currently just calling the Alchemy YA. At the end of February and the beginning of March, I wrote a complete 7-page outline and the first chapter of my Alchemy YA and sent it to my agent, and she got back to me and she loved the outline, which is very exciting. Totally happy with it being a historical fantasy. I mentioned in my previous vlog that I was a little worried that she'd want me to make it fully secondary world, but nope, she loves it. She's excited. She even said she actually stopped reading at the end of Act 2 because she wanted to read the whole first draft, not knowing who the culprit is of the murder mystery, so she can like kind of have the experience as a reader of finding out in the actual draft. So like, I don't know, that's exciting. The bad news is that she did not like the first chapter as much, which I very much feel. I think if you watched the previous vlog, you will have kind of heard it in my voice that I wasn't like thrilled about the first chapter. It was hard for me to write, and I don't know, it didn't get. Yes, it was a first draft, and like there are always things in first drafts, like I need to figure out the voice of my main character and like figure out the world, and like there's things that you need to figure out as you write. But I have never had as much issue writing a first chapter of a story I'm excited about as I did with that first chapter of this Alchemy YA, which is not a great sign. So her being like, this is not it, Jasmine. I'm like, yeah, you're right. That was not it. That was not the right place to start this book. I actually think what I'm gonna do is switch what I had planned for chapter 2 is now going to be my first chapter, because we need to start a little bit more in action. We need to start with a hint of the mystery. And the previous thing I had written as the first chapter was just, it was too much, it was too info dumpy, basically, and it was too slow. And what I set up in that previous version of the first chapter was the rivals to lovers sapphic romance is what was set up in that chapter. But this is a murder mystery, a magical murder mystery first, and the rivals to lovers sapphic romance is the B plot, not the A plot. So having that be the first chapter doesn't make sense. I need the A plot of the magical murder mystery to be set up in the first chapter, and then the second chapter can have the rivals to lovers stuff come into the forefront with the tension of what I set up in the first chapter there in the background to keep it more exciting. So, yeah. Is much later. I really struggled to figure out how to start, and ended up on Twitter for a while because I'm trying to retweet as much as I can and give my support to the Asian American community right now, Asian American and Pacific Islander, just everyone in that overall community right now, because of the mass murder that happened this morning. I'm gonna put a link in my description. I always have links to causes that need your support, but top link I'm gonna add for this vlog is some I'm gonna figure out whatever the best link is to give support to the Asian American community. So that's there for you to check out and give your support. I took a shower, as you can see, and I did think about this book in the shower and figured out how I wanted to start it. And I got out of the shower and I wrote 169 words. So that's where we are. So I was not successful at all in writing during lunch or before dinner. It's now after dinner. Oof. It is Saturday morning, and yeah, I didn't write yesterday. I probably could have after work or during lunch, but gosh, it was just the motivation was not there. It has not been there. But I am now Skyping with one of my good friends and critique partners, and I'm pulling up my book playlist right now, which is what I'm doing over here. Here's my book playlist on Spotify, and I've got my thing up. We just ate breakfast virtually together and like chatted, and now we are gonna set a 2-hour timer and we're gonna write. It's later, it's 2:30 now, and I just finished lunch, and it was very productive writing morning. I mean, we did talk for over an hour. So, you know, that's fine. We caught up. It was good. But once I settled down and wrote, it went really well, actually, once I got into it. I definitely had to do a couple starts and stops because I needed to like look some stuff up, check my notes on things, which, you know, I think it's just always going to happen with the first draft, especially for a historical fantasy where I'm trying to be somewhat historically accurate, right? But yeah, it went really well. I'm really excited. I wrote 1,523 words, so that's great. Good morning. It is Sunday the 21st. I got started a little later than I wanted to this morning, but once I finally got down to it, it flowed so well. I'm so happy. I got 1,823 words written today, and I finished chapter 1. The first chapter is 3,515, so we're sticking to my assumption, I guess, that the chapter length in this book will be, you know, somewhere around 3,500. So that's really good. That's really exciting, and gosh, it's such a better first chapter than the previous first chapter. I'm so happy with it. Yeah, this is the right place to start, I think. I mean, we'll see what my agent says. It's now my lunch break, and I don't have a ton of time right now. I've got about half an hour. Okay, that was successful. I managed to edit through all of chapter 2 in half an hour, which is great. Yeah, it went well. I added 63 words to the chapter. I mean, I cut several paragraphs and rewrote them. A lot of it's still the same, and we'll see what my agent thinks about that, because she wasn't really happy with this chapter previously, but she wasn't happy with it as a first chapter, and I'm hoping that it's not the chapter itself that's the issue. It was just like the flow of it being the first chapter, which, like, in retrospect reading, like, it's a much weaker first chapter than my new first chapter, but I hope that it's okay as a second chapter. I'm just gonna go with it, and I'm gonna move on, and it'll be great. Hello, it is Tuesday the 23rd, and I was less productive this morning in terms of the drafting that I wanted to be. I got 624 words written, so, you know. The other thing I did this morning, I did a ton of YouTube planning for my channel that I'm really excited about. So, yeah, I still felt like it was a productive morning, even though drafting wise, I only got the first part of chapter 3 written. I'm kind of backlit, but whatever. Hello, good morning. It is Wednesday, and I am here at my parents' place because they are volunteering at a vaccine clinic today, and they have a puppy. He's like 13 weeks old, so he can't be left alone all day while they volunteer at the vaccine clinic. So I'm here. I brought my work laptop, and I am, you know, all set up to work here. But here he is. Let me show you. Hi, Tristan. Are you and Ninja playing? No, sir. Oh my goodness, he loves his cousin Ninja so much. Yes, he does. They play really well together. Logan is maybe less interested in the puppies than he is in human attention. Isn't that right, Logan? Oh, Dad is. Oh no, are you guys fighting over my foot? Yeah, it's very distracting to work in this environment. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm so cruel. So cruel. I separated them. Oh no, Tristan, are you so sad? Are you so sad you can't play with your friend? So it is now Saturday the 27th, and no, my agent has not yet had a chance to read my first chapter, but that's okay, because, you know, it was kind of nice to take a couple days off, just kind of let it ruminate, and then today I had a big writing session planned with one of my CPs, and we talked for like 2 hours about various things, but one of the things that came up was sort of when I was trying to write chapter 3 on whatever day I was trying to write it, and it just wasn't working very well. I don't know, I just felt like there wasn't enough conflict. I was really feeling like the problem with the murder mystery is like there just wasn't any active danger, especially at the beginning of the book. There's just, even like with the murder mystery, there hasn't been a body yet, and I think I talked about that. Like, my change to chapter 1 helps the stakes, helps the hint of what's to come, but you know, there's nothing quite there yet to really pull the readers in, and I was really feeling that with chapter 3 and like not having any real stakes in chapter 3. I know at the end of chapter 3 I'm gonna really start bringing in this rivalry between my main couple, and that kind of fun stuff, but that's the fun romantic element. That's not the personal stakes and the sort of like personal conflict. She helped me figure out, like, I had in terms of the inner conflict, like I did already have like a base for what it could be. I just didn't take it to that next level of making it like true conflict and like really making it strong. But we talked it out and I figured it out, and it feels so good to like have that now. Hello everyone. It's after work on Monday, March 29th. And Mary got back to me today about chapter 1, and she did like it a lot more than the previous chapter 1, so that is exciting. However, we got to talking about my book, and there's a fundamental problem with sort of the like crux of my idea. It doesn't, in her eyes, which I agree with after we talked about it, it doesn't feel YA enough. I'm starting with a character who is already established at the school she goes to, and like stuff happens, but one of the cruxes of YA is the sense of newness, like trying something new, being forced into a new setting, into a new situation, and how that newness sort of helps the character come of age, right? And that's what I'm missing, and that is a problem. And, you know, it kind of ties into some other issues that I was having with sort of the flow of my early, the first act, basically, is that, like, I think I mentioned my issues with conflict, and I figured out sort of what type of conflict I think would be good, but that type of conflict would actually be so much stronger if it's happening in coinciding with my main character being new, like new to the learning, new to alchemy, new to all of that, right? So, yeah, I'm gonna go back and redo my outline, redo chapters 1 and 2, redo all of it, basically. I mean, not all of it. I'm keeping the characters, I'm keeping the plot, I'm keeping the murder, I'm keeping like all of it. All that's the same. But it's just this sort of like direction of the plot, and like where my main character is starting, and sort of how she is positioned in the world needs to be more uncertain, because it's a YA novel, and I need to tap into that kind of teenage uncertainty and the lack of footing, and make that kind of work with the murder mystery and everything else that's going on, and the romantic plot and all of that. So that's the plan. I'm gonna get the new chapter 1 to Mary Thursday, which means I have a couple days to rework my outline, kind of think it through, talk it over, and try a different start to the book. But I'm excited about it. Like, yes, of course, it's never fun to have to keep going back, but it's better to have figured this out now than having written the entire first draft and then Mary being like, this isn't YA enough. And okay, YA enough, like that's, you know, that might sound silly, or it might sound like negative to some of you guys. I get that we just want to write the books that we want to write and not sort of fit them into boxes, but also I want to sell my books. And it's really good for me to have a even clearer sort of picture and be able to be better at figuring out like how to make my YA ideas very YA and how to make my adult ideas very adult. And right now when I write YA, my instinct is a little bit too new adulty, and I really want to distinctly have YA ideas and adult ideas. So this is good for me, and I'm excited. Actually, like all of these sort of like issues, as I said, with the conflict, I think will be helped a lot, and the flow of the beginning will be helped a lot by making this change and making my main character more new to the situation. So yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be really good in the end. It's after work on Tuesday the 30th, and I was quite productive this morning and over lunch, in the sense that I figured a lot of stuff out about this new version of the book that is more YA. I'm actually very excited. It put together some pieces for the climax that I didn't even realize I was missing. So that's super exciting. Also have filled in the subplots because they are related to the pieces that got put into the climax. This new version will be closer lengthwise to what it needs to be. I'm gonna shoot for like 80K, I think, for this first draft, especially since I have till the end of May. So I have a lot of time in terms of the speed in which I write and all of that. But first I need to finish actually putting together the outline, put it into chapters, and then most importantly, I need to write the new chapter 1 and send that to Mary. It's 10:30 p.m. on March 31st, and I did not really get a chance to write this morning because literally as I was sitting down and getting ready to write, even before I like finished breakfast, I had some important work emails come in, and it was a busy day of work. It happens. It's fine. So, yeah, I didn't write, which was kind of fine because I have been struggling for the last couple days to like visualize my new first chapter and what I want it to be, though coming up with my new outline has been going really well. I haven't like put it together yet, but just my thoughts about the outline and my excitement for it and all of that has just been really good, and it definitely feels like much more YA now that I'm kind of attuning to that. But I had a Skype session about this first chapter, and she gave me the best idea. I told her what I wanted, like the general idea of what needed to happen in the first chapter, and I was throwing around ideas of like how I could do it, but I wasn't happy with any of them, and then she gave me the best idea. I was so excited. I was like, this is exactly, like everything just came together. It's exactly what I needed. And I started writing it after dinner, though it was quite late. By the time we finished Skyping, it was like 9. I did write 736 words of my new chapter. Cool. And it's going. It's good.
Have your second shot.
I got my second vaccine, and I am feeling fine right now. My arm's a little bit tingly. That's exactly what happened to me after the first shot. My arm was tingly for like an hour or so, and then like, I don't know, like 8 hours after I got it, my arm was quite sore, but I didn't get a bad reaction. I woke up the next morning and I was totally fine. So here's to hoping that's the same with the second shot and I don't get flu symptoms or anything like that. We'll see. But anyway, I'm back home. I just finished checking my email, doing some quick things for work. But now I'm going to take an early lunch break, and I am going to finish this first scene of version 3 of this book. That was so productive. It just flowed so well. I wrote 1,962 words, so almost 2,000 words. It's not quite the first chapter. The chapter's only at 2,698 words, but in terms of a first scene, I really like this. I think it's good. I think it gets the point across at least. So I'm gonna send it off to Mary, and we'll see what she says. So Mary just got back to me. I'm sitting on the couch. It's after work, and I'm reading on the couch while I'm waiting to see if my vaccine makes me feel sick. Right now I feel a little warm, but I don't feel sick, so that's good. But anyway, I just checked my email, and Mary got back to me, and she said, yes, this is perfect, which is great. She's very into the new first scene. So third time's the charm. We did it. Hooray. That's really exciting. So I guess the next steps for me, or the next step for me with this book is to finally flesh out the new outline and then get drafting. Hello, it's Saturday the 3rd, and I just finished a long writing session with one of my CPs, and I did a lot actually. I put together a complete new outline. I ended up, previously I used a mystery beat sheet outline, but with this new sort of making this more YA plot idea, please ignore the dog noises. He's got a lot of energy right now. The mystery beat sheet, one of the issues with it is that it's well, there's a couple different issues with it for what I'm trying to do. I won't get into it. The point is I realized it wasn't gonna work. And I scrapped it. I mean, I'm still obviously keeping the mystery. I just scrapped the like beat sheet aspect of it, though elements of that beat sheet are still in this version. But what I pulled is the 27 chapter outline instead. The 27 chapter outline is great because if I'm doing about 3,000 word chapters, then at 27 chapters, that's like 81,000 words, which is about where I want this first draft to be. Somewhere between 80 and 85K would be great. Anyway, I put all 27 chapters and what they needed to be into my Dabble project, and I outlined them. For the most part, it's pretty simple outline for most of the chapters, but I have a really good idea at this point, like what I'm going to be doing with this new version. So I just kind of was giving little notes to myself, and some of it will kind of come as I'm writing, and that'll be totally fine. And I'm feeling really good about this. I think this will be fun. I think it'll be snappy, short chapters, good conflict. I'm hoping it's going to be great. And Mary was super excited. I reread chapter 1 before I did that 27 chapter outline, and I ended up adding some words to it. And I also realized that even though previously I had said this was just the first scene of chapter 1, not the whole chapter 1, I actually think this is the whole chapter 1 now, because it is currently at 2,923 words, which is basically 3,000 words, which is basically what I want my chapters to be with this 27 chapter outline. And it's a really good, solid first chapter. And so when I did my 27 chapter outline, I was like, yes, if this is the complete first chapter, then we'll go from there. And I did, and it's great. And point is, I am vibing. The project is working. Third time is the charm. Mary and I are on board together. We have a good vision, I think, for this book. So that's gonna be the end of this vlog, and then we're gonna come back to it. Tomorrow is Easter. I'm not gonna write tomorrow, but we're gonna come back with chapter 2 and start going full steam ahead with this draft on Monday. So I will be vlogging that, especially since it's officially Camp NaNoWriMo right now. Even though I'm not technically doing Camp Nano, we're gonna channel the Camp Nano energy to get a bunch of writing done this month and see how far we can get in the book this month. But you'll see all of that in the next vlog. So thank you guys so much for watching this very chaotic vlog that in the end of the day did not have that much forward momentum, but you know, we've made it. We've got there in the end, and this is just I guess how the process works sometimes, right? As always, there are links in my description to causes that need your support, so please go and check those out. I am adding a link to the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network donation page because April is autism. It's technically Autism Awareness Month, but people in the autistic community don't like that terminology, so a lot of people do things like Autistic Acceptance Month or Autistic Empowerment Month or whatever you want to call it. So April is a month to give to the autistic community, specifically to organizations like ASAN that give directly to autistic empowerment. So I will put the link for ASAN's donation page, and then of course please check out all of my other links. They never stop being important, and I would appreciate you doing that. You can also support my channel by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and I look forward to chatting with y'all in the comments.